Scorpio, hello. Welcome to Coffee, Sage, and Tarot. This is going to be your monthly reading for December 2025. These are general readings, so use your best judgment to determine if certain messages are meant for you or if they're meant for others in the collective, okay? We're going to take a look at any challenges, opportunities, as we head into December, as well as what energy we should be releasing and embracing for the month ahead. I do have some slots available for one-on-ones for the 2026 overview. It's about an hour to an hour and a half of a reading. Okay, if that is something that interests you, shoot me an email and we will make that happen. All the cards have been pre-shuffled, so let's go ahead and see. Thank you. What December has in store for you, Scorpio. Okay. So, challenge, we have that Four of Swords, Nine of Pentacles as the opportunity, Seven of Pentacles as what we should be releasing, and King of Swords as what we should be embracing here. Lots of pentacle energy. All right. So really working hard on something in your physical landscape here. And, I feel like you have been, the Scorpio I've been reading for, has been working quite hard in the physical landscape here. The amount of times Eight of Pentacles has come up for you is just, you've been moving, you've been grooving here. That Five of Pentacles as well. It's just, you've been really, fighting to make things happen here. And so it's nice to see this Nine of Pentacles here. It feels like there's some sort of security that you're coming into as this year comes to a close. That Ten of Pentacles as well. It feels like we're closing the loop on something here. Perhaps there is some sort of goal that you have achieved, right? Something that you've been working towards. You're attaining here as we head into the month of December and then ultimately into 2026. Two of Cups on the outset here, or in the shadow as well. Two of Wands and Justice. Perhaps a new relationship is coming up. I know I did speak, I have been kind of on and off speaking about potential connection here. It feels like that is coming and you're determining whether or not this is worth it, right? Interesting. Whether or not you're going to pursue it, time will tell. Four of Swords as the challenge. Honestly, this just feels like kind of checking out, a mental checkout here. The idea of wanting to stop what we're doing or focus our attention elsewhere, take a break, anything like that. And I feel just because the grind has been so much for you this year, Scorpio, I just want to take it easy, maybe coast through December. The opportunity, like I said, with that Nine of Pentacles, it does feel like there's some security that we're embracing or coming into as this year closes, right? Focusing on the snail, right? Slow and steady wins the race here. And I feel like you have been making steady, slow, forward moving progress. As I mentioned before, the Scorpio that you were 3 months ago is not the Scorpio that you are now as we're closing out this year. And so it feels like you're really embracing whatever security you have attained this far. Seven of Pentacles, in terms of what you should be relaxing around here or releasing, this idea of being objective, seeing here what's working, what's not working. It feels like we're kind of past this. So why are you still focusing on it? Why are you still tending your garden? It's kind of like this idea I'm getting, a watched pot never boils. You're trying to see any sort of sprouts or anything kind of take shape here or change. But if you're constantly focused, just trust it. Just trust it. You know what I mean? King of Swords here, taking control, taking accountability of your thought, of your perspective here, having that integrity and making sure that is showing up as you move forward, right? Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers for that Four of Swords. For Scorpio, please. One more for that Four of Swords. Thank you. Interesting. Show me that Nine of Pentacles here. Show me that Nine of Pentacles. Interesting. There's that Five of Pentacles. We were talking about it. Oh, that's funny. Show me that Nine of Pentacles, please, for Scorpio. Thank you. Show me this Seven of Pentacles here. That's what Scorpio should be releasing. Show me the Seven of Pentacles, please. That's what Scorpio should be releasing. There it is. Thank you. King of Swords, please. Let's clarify this King of Swords as what Scorpio should be embracing. Oh, too many. Let's clarify this King of Swords. Okay. All right. Okay. Not entirely what I was expecting, Scorpio. But we'll get into it. Four of Swords here. We've got that clarified by the Five of Wands in the reverse, Seven of Wands, and that Five of Swords. I'm wondering if this is going to be a challenging month for you in that you're navigating conflict, period. And trying to hold your ground through that. And that is why you're having this idea of, oh, I just want to I want to be done, right? And just mentally kind of check out here, because it seems with that Five of Wands, there's disruption perhaps where you work, and that you're really feeling that conflict with that Five of Wands being in the reverse, and then that Five of Swords being on the opposite side of that Seven of Wands here. It just feels like conflict over conflict over conflict. And there's really no, like, you're right in the middle of it. You know what I mean? And it's interesting here. I'm just looking as well. There's no cups on this board. So I feel like that might have something to do with the desire to remove yourself from what's happening this month, Scorpio, because it feels like there's no time to sit. There's no time to understand, right? What's happening here is quick with these fives, and it's relying on you, or these situations, they're not relying on you, sorry. These situations are trying to demand quick action and quick response from you, right? And so that's why I feel you're kind of, I'm done. Like, wanting, the desire here is to throw in the towel because the amount of conflict is so prevalent for you in December, which is not ideal. Nine of Pentacles as the opportunity here. We do have that Ten of Pentacles in reverse. I was kind of hesitating with that card because it just felt, I don't know, it felt off, and I guess that does track because we have the Ten of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and then that Eight of Wands to clarify that Nine of Pentacles here. So there is an ending, right? Because we do have that 10, but then that 10 inverts as it jumps onto the board as a clarifier here. So I'm wondering if this conflict is affecting some ending, some ideal ending for you in your physical landscape at work. That's why I'm kind of thinking this dynamic is work, because it doesn't end in the way that you thought. And I was holding on to it and I felt kind of like, really, is this really how we're going? Is this really how it's going? And yes was the answer. um, so I wonder if that something comes to an end, but not in the way that you want it. And so that Five of Pentacles showing up, you're still hustling, right? But it kind of feels like, why do I have to keep doing this? Because I've been doing it all year. And that's kind of the vibe I was getting here. But with that Nine of Pentacles and that Eight of Wands, or with that Nine of Pentacles, it's almost this opportunity to remember everything that you have gone through and everything that you have done up until this point. You are not, exactly like I said on the outset, you are not the same Scorpio that started this year off. You have been changed, right? And the Scorpio I'm looking at is so secure in who they are that even this kind of hiccup of something not ending the way that you wanted it to, it's almost like you take a minute if you can, and you move and you keep going, right? Your energy is moving forward. You know where you're headed and you know you will get there, right? That you are the most determined I think I've seen you, Scorpio. And so you know that it's coming. And it feels like, yes, there maybe is some security that is coming here, but there's some aspect of this that did not turn out the way that you wanted it to. But you're like, that's okay. I'll get mine and we'll keep going. Seven of Pentacles here in terms of what you should be releasing. And we do have that strength, Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So literally moving away from that, right? We don't want to be stuck hyper focusing on anything, and that's really what it feels like, right? A watch pot never boils. We're hyper focusing on everything to see if we can see if it's moving, see if we can track a change or an improvement or something like that, right? Kind of giving me like Four of Pentacles energy is what I'm seeing here. Okay, I had watch it grow, watch it grow, watch it grow. And then we have that Hanged Man in the reverse here. This kind of idea of, again, similarly, this aspect of like, take a minute. And I wonder if this is connected here. I mean, it feels like it is, where it's like, okay, we didn't get what we wanted. It's not growing as fast as we want it to, but let's take a minute, right? And not a checkout minute, not a checkout minute, not a I don't care about this, not a throw my hands in the air minute, but a very deliberate and intentional moment of assessment, right? Of kind of navigating or figuring out how to move forward after this kind of hiccup here, right? And with that strength, it really speaks to this Nine of Pentacles energy, and this energy that I'm feeling for you, Scorpio, in that you are not the same person. And so you're showing up different. And these things happening, and this conflict and this hiccup of this Ten of Pentacles not ending in the way that you thought it would, it's kind of like, yes, you're still seeing these things and you're still kind of in the midst of whatever this conflict and chaos is, but it's not, it's like you have this armor on. And so it's still there, but I'm seeing like air, there's no chinks in your armor, right? You're protected because you've worked on your armor and putting it on in order to protect yourself. So these things, you know, I'm seeing like swords flying and arrows flying, but nothing is sticking to you. You remain untouched here because you've done the work to feel whole on the inside first, right? And so we can take these things and understand that they're not a reflection of who we are. They're not a reflection of our worth. It's just life happening in kind of a chaotic way, right? And so that's kind of what I'm seeing here with this Seven of Pentacles, and this understanding that we might temporarily feel like, oh, is this connected to our worth? No. Okay, let's move forward, right? And then coming into the King of Swords here, we have that Six of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, Nine of Swords, and Justice in the reverse. This is an extension of this and this, right? And I think, again, hitting on that idea of not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough, you know, not feeling important enough, not feeling of value, all of these things where we kind of feel less than. That's what these swords kind of feel like to me. And it kind of feels like judging others a little bit in that same way. Or at least seeing that there's potential for that. With as much conflict that's happening here and kind of chaos that's kind of surrounding you, perhaps it is having a little bit more of an impact than I thought. I'm also wondering, Six of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Nine of Swords, Justice in the reverse here. Yes, okay, that judgmental component, but I'm wondering if you're so, and I keep cutting myself off. You've been pushing so hard for something, and we're getting there, right? The five kind of becomes the six in a way. Something has clicked here, right? Even if it hasn't clicked in the way that we want it to, it has clicked. And so it's taking us one step closer, but I wonder if this energy here is that idea of I'm afraid of what's going to happen when I really reach my goal. I'm not reaching my goal quick enough. Should I give up on this? Kind of those seeds of doubt, right? That happen when we get in our own head. And I'm wondering if that's what's happening here. And that Knight of Swords, or sorry, that King of Swords, we're kind of facing those negative thought patterns a little bit, and perhaps changing out that sword, or recognizing that there are some truths that we've relied on to this point, but because we're not the same Scorpio that we were when 2025 started, because we're not the same Scorpio that we were 3 months ago, perhaps this sword needs a little update, right? And so that's what we're coming to an understanding of. Or perhaps we're realizing that that sword has been undergoing an update, right? And now we're being kind of pushed to our limits here a little bit so that we can start to see those changes take shape. And how our brain is changing take shape, how our thought and our perspective and what we say to ourselves, how that's changing a little bit, right? Interesting. Let's go ahead and get some final thoughts here for Scorpio. Thank you. Oh, I didn't even discuss here that shadow. So we've got King of Pentacles, the World, Page of Pentacles, and the Emperor here. Yeah, so it feels like there's something work-related that's coming to an end. And really, wow. We're really moving forward into something here with that Page of Pentacles, Emperor, High Priestess, Magician, Temperance, Ace of Wands, making room for new leadership, a new role, and putting the whole weight of yourself behind it, right? Using that Magician energy, that High Priestess energy, taking everything we know and taking everything we feel, right? Intuitively and backed by data, right? Backed by experience, taking all of that and moving that forward into some sort of leadership energy with that Emperor, right? So that is really quite lovely. Something is coming to an end so that you can level up in a major way. Yeah, King of Pentacles there, right? So now we have the King and the King again. 3 of Cups, 8 of Swords, 6 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. There is something happening here. There is something happening where you're headed. Honestly, Scorpio, I'm so curious to do your 2026 overview here because it feels like where you're headed, 2026 will be a major year for you. Major year. In terms of tangible success. Because that's what I'm seeing. And this is closing out anything that no longer serves you and getting you on the right track mentally, so that you can get on the right track physically. Hanged Man here for the challenges, understanding here, having that he's alone, right? Alone with the water. He's doing his own thing. He's inverted, right? He is unmoving. In conflict, he is unmoving. And that is, I feel like, what your goal is. To be in conflict and not be moved by it, not be swayed one way or the other, right? And that feels very much like a goal for you, Scorpio, that you're achieving. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, again, that grounded energy, that pentacle energy. You're making something happen here, right? And as well, there's this idea with that queen, she's enjoying the process. She's enjoying what she's amassed. And same with that Nine of Pentacles, right? That idea of enjoying that sense of security that she has come into, that she has worked hard for, that she has sacrificed for, disciplined herself for, right? So just some period of enjoyment here, hopefully, as we close out the year. And this idea of understanding what we're building, why, and how we plan on moving forward. Queen of Cups here, for the what you should be releasing, trusting the process, trusting yourself, right? Queen of Cups, trusting that you have everything within you. Similar to the Queen, right? Trusting that we have amassed everything that we need, trusting in ourselves, trusting in our guidance, trusting in our cup, trusting that we have the right barriers, trusting that we have that clear understanding of our emotions, trusting that we are not swayed by other people, that we know what is in our cup, that we are familiar with it, that we celebrate it, right? That we honor ourselves, and that we don't have to watch the pot to know that it's going to boil, because it will boil. It will get there in time, just like you will get there in time, Scorpio. The Sun, yeah, some new clarity, right? You are being primed for major change and success in 2026. And this is you doing your homework in order to get there. There's some clarity. There's some insight here. You're understanding that there's fears, and upgrades to your King of Swords, to your perspective, to how you think, to how you act, to how you speak, to others, but also to yourself, that need to change in order to move you forward. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Scorpio, I am here for it. Let's see here if there's any final thoughts. It's time for healing, not war. Sword, make the change. Yeah. Yeah. And it feels like this, right? It's time for healing, not war. There's this idea, it feels like you're being pushed to engage in something that is not for you. This is not your battle, which is why you're trying to remain an island, impartial. Take yourself out on a date. That's that Queen of Pentacles energy, right? Embracing, loving where you are, loving who you are right now, and not just who you will be in a year from now, right? Come home to yourself. Justice is coming. Interesting. Perhaps there's something in that is a fear. Justice is coming. Karmic justice, right? Listen, we've all made mistakes. We've all, that's how we learn, right? And it feels like perhaps you're waiting for something to come for you. But there has to be an understanding here of love and acceptance of who we are and what we've done. And as long as you're changing and learning and growing and making it a priority to not hurt other people, you're doing it right. Okay? You're doing it right. You already have all the answers. You do. You do. Inside of you. You just need to remember them. Okay? Scorpio, beautiful, beautiful reading. I'm so excited to see what 2026 has in store for you, because this is just like a picture perfect ending for you. You are primed and ready, and I love that. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and you have a great December. We'll see you next time.